To install the wire bracing, first pound in 2 wire staples vertically at the bottom of the corner post on the side opposite to the horizontal brace. The staples should be 3 inches apart and have space behind the loops for wire to pass through the staples. Hang a loose staple on top of each of the staples you've driven in. This will prevent the wire from cutting into the post. Also, hang a staple on the 10-inch brace pin that is sticking out of the brace post. Take the end of one 80-foot brace wire and run it through the 2 staples at the bottom of the corner post. Start from the outside edge, the side of the post that will have the fence attached. Pull 8 feet of this wire through the loops and stick its end in the ground to hold it in place. Take the other end of the 80 feet of wire and pull it around the brace post just above the brace pin to make a figure 8 of wire around the 2 posts. Run the end of the wire through the 2 staples at the bottom of the center post again, following the same path as before. This is easier to do if a second person helps keep the extra wire stretched out and untangled. Make sure the 2 loose ends of the wire end up on the inside edge of the posts, away from the fencing. Thread one end of the wire through a wire strainer and tie it off. Thread the other loose end around the wind-up hub of the strainer. Bend a tight C in the wire to secure it to the hub. Pull the brace wire tight with the wire strainer. Now, pound in the staples at the bottom of the corner post, but not tightly, so the wire under it can still slide if adjustments need to be done later. Repeat the installation of a horizontal brace and wire bracing on the other side of the corner post to complete the corner assembly. If your gate is hung on a vertical post that is not part of a corner assembly, you will need to cross-brace the posts on the hinge side so it can support the weight of the gate and be adjusted. In our example, the hinges of the gate will hang on one brace post of the corner assembly, so another wire brace will be needed. Begin the second brace wire by hammering 2 staples vertically 3 inches apart, 80 inches up on the top outside edge of the corner post. Also, hammer in 2 staples at the bottom of the brace post. Leave enough space to pass wires through the loops. Hang a staple on each of these staples. Starting at the bottom of the brace post this time, feed an end of the wire through the 2 staples from the fence side of the post. Again, pull out about 8 feet of wire and stick it in the ground to hold it. Now, create a figure 8 shape by feeding the other end of the wire around the corner post, passing through the 2 staples at the top. Continue feeding the wire along this path until a double figure 8 is formed. Be careful not to get this wire interwoven with the previous brace wire. Attach both ends of this wire to a second wire strainer and tighten up the wire. Now, pound in the staples to secure the wire, but allow room for the wires to move. You should now have crossed wires between the 2 posts on the hinge side of the gate. On the other side of the gate, there should only be a single wire bracing the H-shaped assembly, unless you have double gates with hinges on that side too. Now that you have completed the corner and brace assemblies and line posts on this fence line, repeat the process until you've installed them on all sides of the area to be fenced. When you're done installing all of the corner and brace assemblies and line posts, it's time to spool out the fence wire. The rolls of woven wire fence have a top and a bottom. The smallest spaces between the fence wires should be on the bottom of the spool. Starting on the outside of a corner post or a gate opening, you can lay the roll of fencing on the ground to roll it out by hand. Or you can use a skid loader with a spindle to roll out the wire. Make sure the smallest openings in the fencing are next to the bottom of the posts. Keep the fencing close to the posts. Continue to lay out new rolls as you run out. The ends of the rolls should overlap each other by a length of at least 1 foot. On the fencing closest to the corner post, loosen and remove the wire knots to create 2 feet of loose end wires to wrap around the corner post. If you started your roll of fencing at a gate opening, wrap the wires around the gate post. Each of these wires will be tied off around the post, but if you have a crew helping lay out fencing, leave this job until last because you can do it without help. When you lift up the end of the fencing, use the toe of your boot to set the fencing 2 inches above the ground while securing each horizontal wire to the outside of the corner post with a staple. Make certain the wire knot is on the opposite side of the staple from the direction you will be stretching the wire. All of the knots must be in a straight line up the post for the fence to stretch properly. Once the end of the fencing has been secured, stand up the fencing and attach it to all of the line posts with a temporary staple 5 or 6 feet above the ground. The wire knot should be on the side of the staple that is the direction you'll be stretching the fence, so the knot can move during stretching. Check that the fencing is set 2 inches above the ground.